confession. She was young and beautiful, but now she is battered and dead. She is not the first, and she will not be the last. I lie awake at nights thinking about my next victim. Maybe she will be the beautiful blonde that babysits near the little store and walks down the dark alley each evening about 7. Or maybe she will be the shapely blue-eyed brunette that said no when I asked her for a date in high school. But maybe it will not be either. But I shall cut off her female parts and deposit them for the whole city to see. So don't make it easy for me. Keep your sisters, daughters and wives off the streets and alleys. Miss Bates was stupid. She went to the slaughter like a lamb. She did not put up a struggle, but I did. It was a ball. I first pulled the middle wire from the distributor. Then I waited for her in the library and followed her out after about 2 minutes. The battery must have been about dead by then. I then offered to help. She was then very willing to talk to me. I told her that my car was down the street and that I would give her a lift home. When we were away from the library, walking, I said it was about time. She asked me, about time for what? I said it was about time for her to die. I grabbed her around the neck with my hand over her mouth and my other hand with a small knife at her throat. She went very willingly. Her breast felt very warm and firm under my hands, but only one thing was on my mind, making her pay for the brush-offs that she had given me during the years prior. She died hard. She squirmed and shook as I choked her, and her lips twitched. She let out a scream once, and I kicked her head to shut her up. I plunged the knife into her, and it broke. I then finished the job by cutting her throat. I am not sick, I am insane, but that will not stop the game. This letter should be published for all to read it. It just might save that girl in the alley. But that's up to you. It will be on your conscience, not mine. Yes, I did make that call to you also. It was just a warning. Beware, I am stalking your girls now. Sick of living, unwilling to die. Cut, clean. If red, clean. Blood spurting, dripping, spilling, all over her new dress. Oh well, it was red anyway. Life draining into an uncertain death. She won't die this time. Someone will find her. Just wait till next time. Bates had to die. There will be more. Z. Dear Editor, this is the murderer of the 2 teenagers last Christmas at Lake Herman and the girl on the 4th of July near the golf course in Vallejo. To prove I killed them, I shall state some facts which only I and the police know. Christmas. 1. Brand name of ammo, Super X. 2. 10 shots were fired. 3. The boy was on his back with his feet to the car. 4. The girl was on her right side, feet to the west. 4th of July, 1. Girl was wearing patterned slacks. 2. The boy was also shot in the knee. 3. Brand name of ammo was Western. Here is part of a cipher. The other 2 parts of this cipher are being mailed to the editors of the Vallejo Times and the SF Examiner. I want you to print this cipher on the front page of your paper. In this cipher is my identity. If you do not print this cipher by the afternoon of Fry, 1st of August 69, I will go on a kill rampage Fry night. I will cruise around all weekend killing lone people in the night, then move on to kill again, until I end up with 12 people over the weekend. I like killing people because it is so much fun. It is more fun than killing wild game in the forest, because man is the most dangerous animal of all. To kill something gives me the most thrilling experience. It is even better than getting your rocks off with a girl. The best part of it is that when I die, I will be reborn in paradise, and all that I have killed will become my slaves. I will not give you my name, because you will try to slow down or stop my collecting of slaves for my afterlife. Dear Editor, this is the Zodiac speaking. In answer to your asking for more details about the good times I have had in Vallejo, I shall be very happy to supply even more material. By the way, are the police having a good time with the code? If not, tell them to cheer up. When they do crack it, they will have me. On the 4th of July, I did not open the car door. The window was rolled down already. The boy was originally sitting in the front seat when I began firing. When I fired the first shot at his head, he leapt backwards at the same time, thus spoiling my aim. He ended up on the back seat, then the floor in the back, thrashing out very violently with his legs. That's how I shot him in the knee. I did not leave the scene of the killing with squealing tires and racing engines as described in the Vallejo paper. I drove away quite slowly, so as not to draw attention to my car. The man who told the police that my car was brown was at about 40 to 45, rather shabbily dressed. I was at this phone booth having some fun with Vallejo cops when he was walking by. When I hung the phone up, the damn thing began to ring, and that drew his attention to me and my car. Last Christmas, in that episode, the police were wondering as to how I could shoot and hit my victims in the dark. They did not openly state this, but implied this by saying it was a well-lit night, and I could see the silhouettes on the horizon. Bullshit. That area is surrounded by high hills and trees. What I did was tape a small pencil flashlight to the barrel of my gun. If you notice, in the center of the beam of light, if you aim it at a wall or ceiling, you will see a black or dark spot in the center of the circle, about 3 to 6 inches across. When taped to a gun barrel, the bullet will strike exactly in the center of the black dot in the light. All I had to do was spray them as if it was a water hose. There was no need to use the gun sights. I was not happy to see that I did not get front page coverage. Zodiac, no address. This is the Zodiac speaking. I am the murderer of the taxi driver over by Washington Street and Maple Street last night. To prove this, here is a blood-stained piece of his shirt. I am the same man who did in the people in the North Bay area. The SF police could have caught me last night if they had searched the park properly instead of holding road races with their motorcycles, seeing who could make the most noise. The car drivers should have just parked their cars and sat there quietly, waiting for me to come out of cover. School children make nice targets. I think I shall wipe out a school bus some morning. Just shoot out the front tire and then pick off the kiddies as they come bouncing out. This is the Zodiac speaking. I thought you would need a good laugh before you hear the bad news. You won't get the news for a while yet, and I can't do a thing with it. P.S. Could you print this new cipher in your front page? I get awfully lonely when I'm ignored. So lonely, I could do my thing. I hope you are having lots of fun in trying to catch me. That wasn't me on the TV show, which brings up a point about me. I am not afraid of the gas chamber, because it will send me to paradise all the sooner, because I now have enough slaves to work for me, where everyone else has nothing when they reach paradise. So they are afraid of death. I am not afraid, because I know that my new life is. Life will be an easy one in paradise death. This is the Zodiac speaking. Up to the end of October 1st, I have killed 7 people. I have grown rather angry with the police for their telling lies about me. So I shall change the way the collecting of slaves. I shall no longer announce to anyone. When I commit my murders, they shall look like routine robberies, killings of anger, and a few fake accidents, etc. The police shall never catch me because I have been too clever for them. 1. I look like the descriptions passed out only when I do my thing. The rest of the time, I look entirely different. I shall not tell you what my disguise consists of when I kill. As of yet, I have left no fingerprints behind me, contrary to what the police say. In my killings, I wear transparent fingertip guards. All it is 2 coats of airplane cement coated on my fingertips. Quite unnoticeable and very effective. 3. My killing tools have been bought in through the mail order outfits before the ban went into effect. Except one, and it was bought out of the state. So as you can see, the police don't have much to work on. If you wonder why I was wiping the cab down, I was leaving fake clues for the police to run all over town with. As one might say, I gave the cops some busy work to do, to keep them happy. I enjoy needling the blue pigs. Hey, blue pig. I was in the park. You were using fire trucks to mask the sound of your cruising prowl cars. The dogs never came within 2 blocks of me, and they were to the west, and there were only 2 groups of parking about 10 minutes apart. Then the motorcycles went by about 150 feet away, going from south to northwest. Must print in paper. P.S. 2 cops pulled a goof about 3 minutes after I left the cab. I was walking down the hill to the park when this cop car pulled up, and one of them called me over and asked if I saw anyone acting suspicious or strange in the last 5 to 10 minutes. And I said yes. There was this man who was running by, waving a gun, and the cops peeled rubber and went around the corner as I directed them, and I disappeared into the park a block and a half away, never to be seen again. Hey pig, doesn't it rile you up to have your nose rubbed in your boo-boos? If you cops think I'm going to take on a bus the way I stated I was, you deserve to have holes in your heads. Take 1 bag of ammonium nitrate fertilizer and 1 gallon of stove oil and dump a few bags of gravel on top, and then set the shit off. and will positively ventilate anything that should be in the way of the blast. The death machine is already made. I would have sent you pictures, but you would be nasty enough to trace them back to the developer and then to me, so I shall describe my masterpiece to you. The nice part of it is that all the parts can be bought on the open market with no questions asked. One battery power clock will run for approximately 1 year, one photoelectric switch, 2 copper leaf springs, 2 6-volt car batteries, 1 flashlight bulb and reflector, 1 mirror, 2 18-inch cardboard tubes, black with shoe polish inside and out. The system checks out from one end to the other in my tests. What you do not know is whether the death machine is at the site or whether it is being stored in my basement for future use. I think you do not have the manpower to stop this one by continually searching the roadsides looking for this thing, and it won't do to reroute and reschedule the buses because the bomb can be adapted to new conditions. Have fun. By the way, it could be rather messy if you try to bluff me. Zodiac. P.S. Be sure to print the part I marked out on page 3, or I shall do my thing. To prove that I am the Zodiac, ask the Vallejo cop about my electric gun sight, which I used to start collecting my slaves. Dear Melvin, this is the Zodiac speaking. I wish you a happy Christmas. The one thing I ask of you is this: please help me. I cannot reach out for help because of this thing in me won't let me. I am finding it extremely difficult to hold it in check. I'm afraid I will lose control again and take my 9th and possibly 10th victim. Please help me. I am drowning. At the moment, the children are safe from the bomb because it is so massive to dig in, and the trigger mech requires much work to get it adjusted just right. But if I hold back too long from now on, I will lose all control of myself and set the bomb up. Please help me. I cannot remain in control for much longer. Zodiac. This is the Zodiac speaking. By the way, have you cracked the last cipher I sent you? My name is... I am mildly curious as to how much money you have on my head now. I hope you do not think I was the one who wiped out that blue meanie with a bomb at the cop station. Even though I talked about killing school children with one, it just wouldn't do to move in on someone else's territory. But there is more glory in killing a cop than a kid, because a cop can shoot back. I have killed 10 people to date. It would have been a lot more, except that my bus bomb was a dud. I was swamped out by the rain we had a while back. The new bomb is set up like this. P.S. I hope you have fun trying to figure out who I killed. If you don't want me to have this blast, you must do 2 things. 1. Tell everyone about the bus bomb with all the details. 2. I would like to see some nice Zodiac buttons wandering about town. Everyone else has these buttons like peace, black power, Melvin eats blubber, etc. Well, it should cheer me up considerably if I saw a lot of people wearing my button. Please, no nasty ones like Melvin's. Thank you. Zodiac. This is the Zodiac speaking. I have become very upset with the people of San Fran Bay Area. They have not complied with my wishes for them to wear some nice Zodiac buttons. I promised to punish them if they did not comply by annihilating a full school bus. But now, school is out for the summer, so I punished them in another way. I shot a man sitting in a parked car with a .38. Zodiac 12, San Francisco Police Department, 0. The map coupled with this code will tell you where the bomb is set. You have until next fall to dig it up. Zodiac. This is the Zodiac speaking. I'm rather unhappy because you people will not wear some nice Zodiac buttons. So I now have a little list, starting with the woman and her baby, that I gave a rather interesting ride for a couple of hours one evening a few months back, that ended in my burning her car where I found them. This is the Zodiac speaking. Being that you will not wear some nice Zodiac buttons, how about wearing some nasty Zodiac buttons? Or any type of Zodiac buttons that you can think up. If you do not wear any type of Zodiac buttons, I shall, on top of everything else, torture all 13 of my slaves that I have waiting for me in paradise. Some I shall tie over anthills and watch them scream and twitch and squirm. Others shall have pine splinters driven under their nails and then burned. Others shall be placed in cages and fed salt beef until they are gorged. Then I shall listen to their pleas for water, and I shall laugh at them. Others will hang by their thumbs and burn in the sun. Then I will rub them down with deep heat to warm them up. Others I shall skin them alive and let them run around screaming. And all billiard players, I shall have them play in a darkened dungeon cell with crooked cues and twisted shoes. Yes, I shall have great fun inflicting the most delicious of pain to my slaves. San Francisco Police Department, 0. Zodiac, 13. As someday it may happen that a victim must be found, I've got a little list of society offenders who might well be underground, who would never be missed. There is the pestilential nuances who write for autographs, all people who have flabby hands and irritating laughs, all children who are up in dates and implore you with implant, all people who are shaking hands shake hands like that, and all third persons who with unspoiling take those who insist. They'd none of them be missed. There's this banjo serenader and the others of his race, and the piano organist. I've got him on the list. All people who eat peppermint and thump it in your face. They would never be missed. And the idiot who phrases with enthusiastic tone of centuries but this, and every country but its own, and the lady from the provinces who dresses like a guy who doesn't cry, and the singularly abnormally, the girl who never kissed. I don't think she would be missed. I'm sure she wouldn't be missed. And that nice impriest that is rather rife, the judicial humorist, I've got him on the list. All funny fellows, comic men and clowns of private life. They'd none of them be missed. An uncompromising kind, such as, thingymabob, and likewise. Well, never mind, and tut 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 tut, and what's his name, and you know who. But the task of filling up the blanks I rather leave up to you. But it really doesn't matter whom you place upon the list, for none of them be missed. None of them be missed. P.S. The Mount Diablo code concerns radians and inches along the radians. Dear editor, you'll hate me, but I've got to tell you. The pace isn't any slower. In fact, it's just one big 13. Some of them fought. It was horrible. Zodiac. P.S. There are reports city police pig cops are closing in on me. I'm crack-proof. What is the price tag now? This is the Zodiac speaking. Like I've always said, I am crack-proof. If the blue meanies are ever going to catch me, they had best get off their fat asses and do something. Because the longer they fiddle and fart around, the more slaves I will collect for my afterlife. I do have to give them credit for stumbling across my riverside activity, but they are only finding the easy ones. There are a hell of a lot more down there. The reason I am writing to the Times is this: they don't bury me on the back pages like some of the others. San Francisco Police Department 0, Zodiac 17+. I saw and think The Exorcist was the best satirical comedy that I have ever seen. Signed, yours truly. He plunged himself into the billowy wave, and an echo arose from the suicide's grave. Titwillow, titwillow, titwillow. P.S. If I do not see this note in your paper, I will do something nasty, which you know I'm capable of doing. Me, 37, San Francisco Police Department 0. Dear Mr. Editor, did you know that the initials SLAY, Symbionese Liberation Army, spell Sla, an Old Norse word meaning kill? A friend. Sirs, I would like to express my constant consternation concerning your poor taste and lack of sympathy for the public, as evidenced by your running of the ads for the movie Badlands, featuring the blurb, "In 1959, most people were killing time. Kit and Holly were killing people." In light of recent events, this kind of murder glorification can only be deplorable at best. Not that glorification of violence was ever justifiable. Why don't you show some concern for public sensibilities and cut the ad? A citizen. Editor. Put Marco in the hellhole from whence it came. He has a serious psychological disorder, always needs to feel superior. I suggest you refer him to a shrink. Meanwhile, cancel the Count Marco column. Since the Count can write anonymously, so can I. The Red Phantom, red with rage. Dear Editor, this is the Zodiac speaking. I am back with you. Tell Herb Kane I am here. I have always been here. That city pig Toshi is good, but I am but smarter and better. He will get tired, then leave me alone. I am waiting for a good movie about me. Who will play me? I am now in control of all things. Yours truly. Zodiac? Guess. San Francisco Police Department? 0. Dear Channel 9, this is the Zodiac speaking. You people in LA are in for a treat. In the next 3 weeks, you are finally going to have something good to report. I have decided to begin killing again. Please, hold the applause. Nothing is going to happen until I do. You people just won't let me have it any other way. I plan to kill 5 people in the next 3 weeks. Chief Piggy Daryl Goetz, ex-Chief Piggy Ed Davis, Pat Boone, his theocratic crap is an obscenity to the rest of the world. Also Eldridge Cleaver, the gotta get their 20% quota after all, and Susan Atkins, the Judas of the Manson family. She's gonna get hers now. Hey, you actors, this is your lucky break. Remember, whoever plays me has to their work cut out for him. See you in the news.